Welcome back, guys. I've introduced you to Canva quite a number of times, and right now I want to use Canva to create my first ad visuals. I'm going to come to canva.com to create a square ad because square ad performs better. So I'm going to just create something like that, and I'm going to accept all cookies. This is Canva right here, and so I'm going to start now. So we have Canva right here, so I'm going to start my design right away. So all I have to do now is to start the design. I have to just look for Facebook Square. I'll look for Facebook Square to start that Facebook Square, and I'm going to come this way. So we have something like this, we have this, and we have something like this. So all I have to do is to create a square post, or I can just say Facebook ads. Let's see Facebook ads. Since we are trying to create a Facebook ad visual, but I want it to be a square. I want it to be a square format. I don't want it to be something like this. I want it to be square, something of this nature. I don't want it to be something like this, a landscape. So let me look for a square to work with, and let's see if we can get a template right now. So I'm searching through the templates to see if I can get a square right now. I just have to I have to just look for square. I'll say square ads. So let's look for square instead. So now I'm going to have something like this, and let's see if we have templates like that. Yeah, we have a lot of templates like that. So let's look for the one that will suit our style. So we're going to just say, or I can just refine this again. I can say piece building, and let's see something on piece building. So let's see if we have something like that. So we have something like this, piece building. So let's see, and wow. So let's use something like this. Let's use something like, okay, so let's use something like this. Let me use something like this. Let me customize this to use for this piece. Yeah, let me use this like this. Let me customize this template for the ad we want to create. We want to create a brand awareness, and this is what we're going to try to use. So I'm going to just come here and try to use something like this. I'm going to come to elements to look for piece. I'm going to look for piece here in the elements, and just to look for something that we can use. And I'm going to look for photos instead. I'm going to come to photos and see if we can see a photo. So let's see something like this. Okay, so we have something like this, and let's see more if we could see something more subtle that we can use. And let's see if we can use something like this. Okay, yeah, peace is a journey. So let's do something like this. Peace is a journey. Let's work it together. So let's do something like this. Let's create a community like this, and yeah, we're going to have something like this. So I'm going to have it right here, and what I'm going to do, I want to overlay it. I'm going to look for elements again. I'm going to look for a shape. So we have elements, and I'll look for the shape. Then I have something like this. I'm going to just bring it this way, and yeah, we have something like that. And I'm going to bring in the logo of this brand we want to create the ad visuals for. I'm going to just bring in the logo right now. So let me just bring it into Canva. I'm going to drag and drop. Let me just bring it into Canva. I'm going to drag and drop it into my Canva, and yeah, I have it dropped, and I'm going to look for it. I'm going to come to upload, and here's the logo right here. So I'm just going to bring it in this way. I'm going to bring it in. So here it is. I've brought it in. All I have to do is to make it smaller this way, and yes, we have something like that. And having to click on the shape, I'm going to change the color to one of the brand color, and I have something like that. So I can just reduce the opacity by coming this way. I can reduce the opacity right here. So let's look for a way to reduce the opacity of this. Coming back to my design, I'm going to try to reduce the opacity right here. So let's look for that right away, and we have something like this. Look at the transparency here. I'm going to reduce the transparency from here. So let's see something like this. So we have something like this. All right, then this is piece. I'm going to just try to add some effects to it and see we have a very good effect right now. So I'm going to just add some good effects to this. Yeah, this looks great. I have to use this effect. I love this. So let's look for the effects, and yeah, so we're going to look into the effect and see the color. The color can be a blue, so we can make it a blue, and yeah, we have that. Then we have this. Let me just come this way. Let me bring this to the middle. Peace is a journey. Let's work it together. So I can make this like a 30. So we can make this like a 30. Let's just spread it across, and we have something like this. So let's just do something like this. Okay, so we have something like this. Peace is a journey. Let's work it together, and we have this voice of peace right now. We have something like this. So we're going to have, or we can just leave it this way. We can leave it this way. This will be our ad visual, and we're going to have this piece is a journey. Let's work it together, and that way we'll be able to create the visual. So I'm going to have this downloaded. I'm just going to create it as ad copy for brand awareness. So I'm going to say join us. Let me look for button. Let me try and look for button, or I create a button myself. So let's look for button right now, and let's see if we have any. So let me look for graphics and see if I can get any from here. This is an image. Okay, let me delete that. That's an image. Something we'll be able to edit actually. So I'm going to just, let me use something like something like this orange color. So let's do something like this. So we're going to come this way. We're going to bring this in. We're going to bring it come this way. Sorry. So I'm just going to bring this down this way, and I have something like this. Just going to, okay, so I have something like this, and yes, we have something like this. Then we can bring this way. Okay, so I have something like this. I can just input a text, or input a text like join us. Okay, and I can make this a blue. I can make this a blue color. So I'm just going to highlight and make it a blue color this way. And yes, we have something like this. And I'm going to make it smaller, and I'll bring it this way. And yes, we have something like this. And I have something like this, join us. So okay, so I have something like this, join us, and we can just make this a reality. I'm going to come to the upload, and I'm going to try to bring in the logo. So I can just bring in the logo this way, and we're going to have it here. So we can change this to like a white. Let's see what a white would look like. Let's see what a black would look like. I think I love this black better, so let's go with black. So we're going to leave it this way. We're going to leave this way, and we have something like this, which is not looking bad at all. This could be our brand awareness, and we can just leave it something like this. Peace is a journey. Let's work it together. Join us. And yeah, I'm going to have this downloaded. This will be our ad visual. Then I'm going to have that downloaded right now. So I'm going to download it in JPEG, and I'm going to download it right away. And that way we'll be able to create a ad copy for brand awareness. I'm going to launch the ad campaign, and this is the visual we're going to use, and I'll be seeing in the next lesson. See you there.